We tried to figure this out before. It's hard to
Yeah.
it's hard to like spot like the exact moment or.
Yeah, I don't know when it first actually came together, when it started. I mean, we started talking a long time ago, like maybe over a year ago. I mean, Steve was even saying that we got asked to do like a magazine cover, like back in like 2005, and we think it had to do with like, oh, it's like two Japanese guys, like, you know, whatever. Yeah. Well, 1.5. But yeah, it's been a while, and we started working on the song like probably about no less than a half a year ago, and it wasn't like we were constantly working on it. It's like the ideas would flow whenever it was, you know, something new came up. It was really organic and really just natural. I think that everyone was excited in the band, and it was just different variations on like how like involved, you know, they were. Because for me, I was usually in our writing process, I head that up and I do the majority of the writing, usually, and then so a lot of the stuff that we made in the beginning was just me and Steve, and then I'd play it for the guys and get their feedback.
I guess it is full circle because, like, I mean, when I first started, like anything with music, I started with a guitar, and then eventually it evolved to a computer, which is like what is my primary source of writing music. And with this collaboration, it's like it does bring it back to be able to work with a band, you know, because like prior to this, it's like you know, it's more of like a one-man operation. I don't really have to rely on anyone else to get their feedback on tracks. And then in this case, it's like, you know, when me and Mike started working, it was like a lot of feedback back and forth. Mm-hmm. And you know, with Mike, it's like he brings this whole element of songwriting and melody structuring and arrangement, different kind of ideas. And what I want to bring to the table is more like sound design elements, creating an effective drop that works, you know, with their melodies, and you know, having like a good beat that will work with the song as well. So it was just great to be able to get back into that space, work with guitars, work with people that really understand the whole live musician kind of songwriting.
Yeah, totally jealous. Chester and I mean, you should have heard Chester back there. I mean, you kind of know because we were talking about it the other day. But it's so, there's something so punk rock about the EDM like method that's just like, you know, go in, get it done, like it's like a skeleton crew kind of thing, you know what I mean? And we've got this massive crew of like, you know, dozens and dozens of people. But there's a benefit to both, you know, it's push and pull, and there's some, I think that there may be, who knows where we'll play the song again. We actually don't have any plans right now to play it again together, but I would imagine it'll happen. And I don't know if it'll be more like what you saw, you know, at the Summer Sonic show where it's just me and Chester and Steve, or if it'll be like the whole band and Steve. I could see both things happening, but who knows at this point.
We just kind of threw this show together like pretty just, it was very just raw, you know, like, I mean, the fact that Mike, I was like, what? Mike's like in the crowd all of a sudden. I was trying to find Mike on stage, and then I see Chester, all of a sudden I see Mike climbing up the barricade, and it was like all the fans just grabbing a Mike while he's just like, I mean, it reminded me of like a punk show I went to, like, you know, when I was a teenager. It was like a lot of different things were going on. A lot of different like genres were coming together. You know, not just like Linkin Park style and the dance bass, but like you bringing in this whole like punk element to it. Like it was really, really fun show. I mean, I love being able to talk to my fans and anyone that like in that space. It's like it never. Like when, I mean, obviously we're both in the same boat that we grew up without social media. So when I was like, oh, we can actually talk to fans without having it down our throats, or we can control it in a certain way. and be able to update people on things in that mass scale. Plus, it's also fun just to be yourself and poke fun at yourself and not just have like, okay, here's like, this is the next song that's coming out, but like, oh, this is like some random shit I'm doing right here, right now, and people are interested in that too. So it's all kind of fun.
I love Steve's social media stuff. I always joke with him about how good he is at Vine, because he's doing fun stuff all the time. It's like you get to like get a glimpse into the stuff that happens outside the show, and if you're doing fun stuff all the time, it's like that just makes for great entertainment. On our end, like the one thing that we try and do with our social media is like, to that end, show people what goes on outside the music, because the music can be really serious, right? But our band isn't very serious at all. Like, we're just stupid kids, so we just basically we when it comes to all the rest of the stuff, like, you really get a sense of who the guys are. We have a game on Facebook. It's a Linkin Park is the biggest band on Facebook, and we know that our fans are gamers. They love to play games. They love to play this kind of game. So we made a game called Recharge, and Recharge comes out at the beginning of September officially. And before that, as we're beta testing it and letting people get a sneak peek, they will be able to play. And the more they play, they build up a community score, and when the community score gets to a certain point, a snippet of the song is going to unlock. So that'll be they've got to play in order to hear the first album quality version of the music.
Cool.
And that's at lprecharge.com.